Welcome to day 3 of our Fall Look Week of Webisodes. We're so happy to have you joining us. And we have full of very pretty things today.
We do. We have Lacy Tapestry, beautiful poinsettias, and we have all that in cutting dies, dazzles, and a stamp.
Yes, lots of fun things. Come play with us. Well, here they are.
And aren't they beautiful?
And well, they're more beautiful when they're used. Use your imagination.
Well, you know, we zoom in, we can get the little
in fact,
things here.
We're going to start there. We're going to start with the Lacy Tapestry. We'll scoot the poinsettias away.
And it's a very large cutting die. It's one cutting die, but it's beautiful. It's 4 7/8 long by 3 7/8 wide, and this is just gorgeous. The detail that's within there when you see the card, and then of course we do have an idea on the back. Oh,
and I have that idea to show you now. Look at this. Isn't that just gorgeous? We'll get in closer just so you can really see that gold pearl that was used and the silver pearl.
The silver pearl. So these are the gold pearl and the silver pearl sheets.
Right.
They are self-adhesive and they are just beautiful. They are that shimmering pearl. It's like glitter, but it doesn't come off.
Right, and these are self-adhesive, which is always nice. And they come in a set like this, so you get 3 gold, 3 pearl, 3 silver, and they're 8 inches by 9 inches each.
Now, when you use the cutting die on this, you want to make sure you use an adapter plate. We do sell the metal adapter sheet that helps it to cut through those layers because it's kind of a plasticized sheet. Right, but just gorgeous. And then that center one is backed on black suede. It's just gorgeous. It really helps it to pop.
It does.
Even behind that we have what we call shine design. This is in the black finish.
And this is an interesting sheet because you can see that some of it is shiny and some of it is matte.
We don't use this a lot.
We don't.
You know, for certain uses it's just beautiful. We have it in different colors.
And what I think is so clever is to this intricate cutting die, and you can see it's so intricate, to put it on a patterned paper, even a tone-on-tone like this, it just makes it so rich. And then of course backing only this area onto the black velvet. Wow. Right. Just gorgeous.
It's just gorgeous. Now the corner, oh, you're going to show the center.
I want to show the inside. This is taking a cutting die and using it like a stencil.
Right. So go ahead and use the cutting die to cut out a piece of cardstock. Then place that cardstock, which you're going to throw away later, onto the corner, and then just sponge over that. Use a cosmetic wedge and some ink and just get that beautiful effect.
Look, these are strips of the silver and the gold pearl paper.
So just
and
beautiful.
Isn't that pretty?
And there are some great La Creme pearls on there. So
just like
and those are self-adhesive. The corner treatments are what I want to show you a little bit about. That is using one of those cutting dies, and so I've got one of those die cuts. After you use the cutting die, you die cut through that silver pearl sheet like so. Now I left this on here. I could pop it out, but I figure leave it in place because of what I do next is going to make it easy to work with. You're going to use a ruler, and I've got my retractable pen knife.
I have it.
You have one. Fantastic. You just pop that open. These are so great for using for all of your craft
Because I'm
needs.
always standing by waiting to help you.
And I rely on you for that. So right down the center is where I place my ruler, and these rulers we sell, they have a nice metal edge, which is perfect for using with the retractable pen knife. And you just cut right down the center, and then you turn it and cut this way, and I believe I located right below these 2 swirls you hear. There's a large swirl, a smaller swirl. So you're going to have to cut 2 of these to get these 2 corners for your card. And there we go. So once you do that, this has been cut into 4 pieces, and then you just lift this right off of that.
Right now you're thinking you have to pop out all those pieces.
Right, you don't.
That's not what you do.
You can just lift this up, and it removes from that backing. Once you got it all peeled off, and when you look at the card, you just place it right in the corners.
Look at that beautiful look. Absolutely gorgeous. Okay, that's one way. So this is really using it as a focal, and you can add your message. We've done it with some of the charm dazzles.
I backed those on suede so you can really see that pop.
You could do it in any way. You might want to have a little piece coming, whatever you like. This next example is using it as a backing for a focal. And what a backing that is.
It's just beautiful. And this is, it's just, I love the pinks on the grays there. I think this is the roses and lace. I
think it is.
Paper pack, and then those great border dazzles here. But I just love that. It's just sort of an understated, now the point of it would be back underneath here, but all you're seeing is the top part of that lacy tapestry.
So it's actually turned.
Right.
And just beautiful. And then on the inside, it is also the full piece is backing another of the hearts. And using one of
the gray papers, it's just really sort of understated, but it makes a nice, it makes your other focal stand out just when placed on top of it.
And that's what I'm appreciating about it. It's such an intricate design, but it is so versatile. And you can use it in multiple ways, which of course is why we're here to show you.
You can use parts and pieces of it, or you can use the entire piece.
Now the dazzles, both the front, thank you, you make me smile, those are part of the inside-outside greeting dazzles.
And that comes in a 3-pack so that you get 3 different finishes. I love those 3-pack dazzles.
And of course the jewel dazzles are matching the border dazzles, both with a silver edge on the front.
So just beautiful.
That's a nice combo.
That double wrapped ribbon on there, and those are the ribbons from that same set, I believe. So just beautiful.
Now this is another example of kind of a medium. In the first card, it was really center stage. In the second card, it was just creating a beautiful background. Here, it's a beautiful background, but it's pretty standout.
And that's because the Mega Flakes were used to, I'm not sure if that was the Mega Flakes or the gold metal sheet.
Yeah, I think it's the gold metal sheet.
The metal leaf.
The metal leaf.
We talked, there it is, the metal leaf, and it's just beautiful. So you can use your flitter glue right on top of that piece. You can also use double-sided adhesive. Put double-sided adhesive right onto your cardstock, then cut it out, remove that top covering, and then place your metal leaf right on there. And we talked a little bit about the Mega Flakes on the first day. You saw me burnishing it on there with the Scoochie sponge. You would do the same thing with this, and it's just beautiful.
And this is obviously on a center step card, which we showed you yesterday. And in this particular case, these flowers I think are either in limited supply or
no longer available.
But we do have a substitution for you. These are the burlap peach flowers, if you like this peach and gold and green combination.
And we have so many different kinds of petaloo flowers that you can sort of pick whatever you want. That one is a good substitution because the colors match these, but you could use others as well. But just beautiful. More of those charms there, the charms dazzles, which are so fun to use.
And what I'd like to point out is, as elegant as the center area is with the gold, but the torn edge, now putting the torn edge with that elegant look, I would not have thought of doing, but I think it's a gorgeous opposite look.
It sort of makes me think of a vintage. So in vintage, you've got this beautiful ornate work, but over time it's sort of worn.
There
and
you
get
go.
Those torn edges.
That's why it's working. And on the inside, just one more of the flowers and a little bit of the this is the twine.
And we have a twine, a 12-pack of
We
twine.
do, but I think the twine is another very interesting selection. Works beautifully. I think I would have gone with crepe, but wow, does that ever work well?
Absolutely beautiful.
How gorgeous is that?
So lots of different looks already for our Lacy tapestry.
Scrapbookers, this too can be for you. And look at that at the bottom of this page.
And this is the Roses and Lace paper pack, and this is just beautifully done. So there they are, just
full.
Very simply, the full size, just right along, right next to each other, and it gives a beautiful look for that page.
And look at the edge, a part of it peeking out. In this case, doing some chalking or some inking underneath it, because the yellow that she chose was really close to the pink and not quite the drama of the two right
or
there.
If you're finding that the colors of your papers are too close together, they're sort of getting lost, then do just a little inking behind it, or a little bit of chalking, and that makes it stand out.
Pretty? Okay, I hope, scrapbookers, I hope you are thinking about borders. Don't forget you can cut these.
Right, you can use them for corners.
Right.
You can cut out smaller pieces within and use just small accents.
There's stuff for you here. Okay, now that is what we have for our Lacy tapestry. Now we're going to bring in our poinsettia collection.
Right, so several poinsettias. We have the cutting dies, the dazzles, and the stamp. The cutting die. So it is a large focal of 3 5/8, so across and this way, and lots of detail in there, which you can see right here. But there are also 2 smaller dies. We have a leaf shadow, and we have the leaf skeleton itself. So this is what you're seeing here, and those are about at 1 3/4 inches. An idea on the back, and then
we have dazzles. So we have poinsettia dazzles, and same idea that they're very intricate. And we of course have words. Of course, there's borders on the back. As we get in closer, you can really see the 23 pieces that are in this set.
With those large, beautiful focal dazzles. I love that border along the edge there.
Very
it's
pretty.
Just a beautiful, kind of a swirly border.
And our third piece of this trifecta is our little stamp, and you can see this beautiful piece of the poinsettia with leaves and swirls, and then a Merry Christmas little stamp that will be useful.
Right, and what I love about this stamp is that you've got this really ornate stamp work in the center, and then you've got more solid pieces. Even those are etched a little bit. There's a little bit of detailing within those solid areas too.
Now, with the little stamps, I do want to tell you that we, when we order these from the factory, after we have designed them, we only order them once.
Okay.
So they are, until supplies are gone, and then we go to new ones. So that's just how we play that game.
Okay.
But let me show you a very fun look with this poinsettia stamp.
Isn't that cute?
And I have to tell you, I'm really surprised by the
choice of embossing powder.
Yeah, right.
Fluorescent green with this one.
Who would have thunk? Fluorescent green.
I love using the fluorescent embossing powders. They're so fun because it just makes things pop.
And this is the Amber Rose glitter embossing powder.
And I think the red glitz was used.
Oh, I think it must have been.
Here it is.
There we go.
The red glitz. And so perfect Christmas colors with that.
With the neon, huh?
Yeah.
You're really selling that, are you?
It works. It works. It's just,
it does work.
Great.
I'm so surprised.
And this is one of our new interactive die cut cards.
It is.
This is the label swing card.
But it's been cut down.
And we cut the bottom off, and so it just really put an accent on that small stamp.
A real focus.
Why. So that ends up being about a 5" by 5" card,
I think you're exactly right. Now, what I think is so interesting also is the layering that's been done.
Right.
So you can see that.
So start by embossing. So I embossed the poinsettia on the back in the green, just in the green.
The neon green.
The neon green, the fluorescent green. And then I stamped it with the red glitz, so you can see this, and cut that out.
On a separate piece.
On a separate piece. On the patterned paper, I also stamped with that Amber Rose, and then stamped again and stamped again. I cut each of those pieces out and stacked them on top of each other.
Very fun. And really, I completely agree with you. You want a smaller shape, a smaller size, to really focus in
on that. It was really fun adding the little red jewel dazzles too, just like little sparkle pieces here and there. And this is on the Winter's Garden
and
paper
the
pack. Right.
Merry
That's where
Christmas
you're seeing the swirls come from that border paper. So.
And then the other side, same thing, just a different orientation.
Right.
So very nice.
Lots of fun there. I love also wrapping the ribbon around those pieces, the paper pieces, which the paper patterns for this are included with that die cut card. So real simple to do.
Very neat. Very, very neat. Really like that. Okay, let's get into more things. Now, that's our only sample with the stamp,
with the stamp
right?
card. Try to think of different ways you can use it. You can put those stamps on anything.
Well, wait a minute.
Okay.
Here is the same label swing card.
Right.
This is the full version, so we talked about this being trimmed.
Length.
Not too much trimmed, about 1.5 inches or so.
Check the gallery.
And here it is with the poinsettias now. Look at this.
Just beautiful.
It is gorgeous. So backing those large pieces
on different pattern papers. This is from the Christmas Cheer paper pack. And I love the swirls on there. So some of them don't have to be backed much.
Right.
Just a little bit right in the center. And then stacking.
The joy with the being a poinsettia.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And then backing the smaller poinsettias on a different color paper really makes it, gives you kind of a pow when you stack it on there.
Notice how the border is following on all 3 panels, so that inside one as well.
And remember, all of those panels were done using the patterned paper, the paper patterns for that paper pack. Just really
gorgeous.
Beautiful.
So Merry Christmas and all of that. Yeah, gorgeous, gorgeous.
So that's one way of using those dazzles.
And we have another card.
So you're going to see a similar look because it was using the same paper pack.
But look at that. I love the torn edges. Love this.
Yeah, so this is done with the design toolkit. I don't remember which one. Check the gallery. So you've got that just going across
because we're up to 9 now is the deal, right?
I can't keep track of them all. The one with the scallops, no, check the gallery. It tells us which one.
Yeah.
But then stacking the different, I mean, they're actually using different pattern papers, just a little bit different, but tone on tone, and a little bit of stickles right in the center.
Right, the gold ones. I agree with you. I love the swirls. It just enlarged the piece, but it gives kind of this gentle swirl around it too. Right. And then on the inside, there's nothing.
Room to write. Room to write Merry Christmas to your favorite person.
So that's our dazzles. Now we're going to get into the cutting die. Now here is the first one. Not maybe what you would think being in the cream color, but how gorgeous is this?
Oh yeah, I love the lighter colors and then stacking tone on tones in the background. That's the hammered gold that's been made into a banner, and it's just a perfect showcase for that beautiful cut work on that cutting die. Just this beautiful gold button right there. We do sell the gold finish.
It's an assortment.
Buttons.
And isn't that just pretty? And on the inside, a corner, just letting it go off the edge.
So just glue that in place and then cut it off the edge of your card.
And the best wishes dazzles out of the greetings.
The greetings, the 3-pack of greetings. So you've got 3 different finishes of those.
Happens to be right there.
Right. Everyday greetings, that's what it's called.
So very pretty.
So this is a very simple use of that cutting die, just letting it sit all by itself just like that.
Now here is a 2-layer of the cutting die.
So this one has been backed. So go ahead and cut it out of, this one was burgundy suede, and then back it with metallic gold paper.
And I think the color combination is so striking. So there's the burgundy paper. So this is what
really rich.
You would end up saying, okay, well, I think I want to use these 2 together. Why don't we do it with the center step card? I'll take my poinsettia cutting die.
And that really showcases it right on the front there.
And you'll notice the papers are really a small pattern. They're not to compete with this. They're really as a very nice background.
Right, you really want this to be showcased. And plus you've got the leaves there, so you can cut the skeleton of that leaf from a pattern paper and lay it over that metallic. And I love that the metallic is not so shiny that it overpowers anything. It's just sort of a nice backdrop.
Right, it is. We've got the gold border dazzles. And then on the inside, again, we've allowed it to be cut off. And this is out of the Christmas chalkboard.
Right. And you can use that right from the paper.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of stickles right on the center. I'm trying to remember, I think it's called brass. Brass, or these are, the gold have kind of the gold jewel dazzles, and then these are, I think,
either brass or platinum.
Right.
Okay.
Platinum is the silver, so this must be the brass.
Now, you mentioned the leaves, but look what you can do with them all on their own.
All on their own.
Wow.
So this is kind of a fun way of just, and you can use, this could be for spring, for fall, I loved tearing those papers and getting that effect, but what's really fun is those micro beads that you're seeing on those leaves.
Now you're going to show us something?
I am.
Okay.
So the paper pack was the Roses and Lace paper pack, but I only used the greens and the grays there. I just love that look, and I wanted to add a little black and silver to help make it pop. And I have a double-sided adhesive sheet here, which this is, the adhesive is in between these two sheets of covering. I've got a piece of the paper, so I just cut a piece of the paper that I knew would be as large as that die cut, and then I take the double-sided adhesive, remove one layer from it. There we go. So which side is my sticky side? This one. And then I place that right on top of the paper like so. Then I use that with the cutting die, and the one that I use is the shadow. I place that right on there. I run that through the machine, and once it's come through, it looks like this. So now there's your leaf. I don't need that. With the papers on the back and the double-sided adhesive is on the front, I remove the covering. Now it's sticky on the front. Now with the other cutting die, I created this black suede leaf, and then you just lay that right on top. Because it's double-sided adhesive, it's just going to stick right down onto it. I'm going to try to match up the edges. There we go, as much as I can. And I missed a little bit if I was right on top of it, so we'll get that just like so. Now I've got my micro beads, because while the suede isn't sticky, it's still sticky in between, right? Because that's still double-sided adhesive, and I want to put the micro beads on there. This is called grass. The color is grass, and they're kind of half translucent, half colored micro beads. I use a tray when I do this. And so here's a nice little tray that I can catch everything in. I'm going to set that in there, open up my micro beads, because if you don't use a tray, these are going to go everywhere.
They bounce, don't they?
They do, and they just roll, and they're very, very tiny. It doesn't take very much. Once you put them in there, you can see that they sort of go everywhere, and I just sort of rub around a little bit.
So you're burnishing those in, like we do with the micro glitter.
Just a little bit, and you're basically just pressing them onto that double-sided adhesive and tap them off, and there you go.
Wow.
It's done.
Wow.
It's a beautiful leaf.
And here it is when you have a whole collection that has been layered with foam tape onto the card.
Now you can do that with any of our cutting dies, and we have lots of different colors of those micro beads.
How beautiful.
It's beautiful.
And then two inside, thinking of you. That is stunning. Now this type of card could be certainly thank you, it could be sympathy, it's a beautiful masculine card, just lots of use. It could even be a wedding card. So I just think there's lots of uses there.
You know, right now I can imagine the poinsettia doing the same process. Take that poinsettia, place it over paper with the double-sided adhesive, and use pink or red micro beads in between there. That would just be beautiful. Okay.
Now we started with a very light poinsettia, and we're going to end with another one.
A nice light poinsettia, stacking layers and layers of that poinsettia. I think there's only 2 layers on there. It looks like more. And that's done on the white peacock paper.
Yes, and I want to bring this in. Maybe you can see that. Hopefully you can. We see it on the monitor. This is a peacock. It is already embossed, but you can die cut it. It's part of our specialty paper collection. And this is the result. And you've die cut not only the poinsettias, but the leaves out of the same thing.
That's right. And isn't that just beautiful? Debbie did this card, and the white on white there is just beautiful. I believe she backed the back poinsettia. I'm going to pick it up. On white cardstock too, so you wouldn't be able to see through that back, but you really want this to stand out. I love the white jewel dazzles on there. The background is really interesting because she cut separate squares. She sanded the edges to distress them, and then she spritzed them with white dilutions.
Right, the dilutions, white linen, just sprayed it.
Right,
So
and it dries
see.
pretty quickly, and so spritz them separately and then glue them in place. It's just a beautiful look.
Some of the mesh ribbon, the Merry Christmas, and
very
something
sweet.
on the inside.
I love
there
that part. It's just
oh,
absolutely beautiful.
it's folded at the top.
There we
Season's
go.
greetings.
Oh, the leaves for accents.
Yeah, so very, very pretty. So you may have thought when we started that poinsettias would only be red, maybe pink, but we've got a lot of other options.
Oh yeah, you've seen them in pink. If you look at some of
Yes.
our other webisodes,
Yes.
Teresa made this beautiful page with Penelope on it.
Of course.
With pink poinsettias. It was just gorgeous.
So there we have tapestry, cutting die, and poinsettias, and all
Right.
sorts of different materials.
Right. And wait till you see what we have tomorrow.
Yes, we're going to have some wonderful things. Please join us.